Last week,
both of my girls studied abroad in Australia, and they call cotton candy berry floss.
berry floss, that's a better name for it.
Alright.
At least
Always feel like when I ring a bell, I need glasses hanging down my nose, be looking over clouds. Well, welcome everyone. Last week was fall break, and I don't know if you're able to skip town or, take a little time for yourself. Hopefully you were able to, because we went right into the eclipse over the weekend. And I don't know, last week I was a little weepy, not because of anything serious, but I started noticing people around me falling apart, and I was like, ooh, the eclipse is coming. So I don't know if you paid any attention to the astrology behind it. So I wanted to just give you a little glimpse of that, because the eclipses are energy that carries us forward into the future. So it's not like it's a one day, one deal and it's done, right? So this particular eclipse, okay, my senses are weird today. It seems really bright in here, brighter than usual. And I feel like my voice is echoing. My senses are like, anyway.
sensitive.
Yes, I'm just realizing it. This particular eclipse was called the Ring of Fire. I almost had Johnny Cash playing for you when you came in. And the reason why it was called the Ring of Fire is because of the way it appeared when the eclipse was actually occurring. That appearance of the Ring of Fire is a rare event, even though we have eclipses a couple times a year. And they usually come in twos, sometimes threes, but usually in the spring and in the autumn. So we have 4 supermoons in a row. And when it's called a supermoon, it is when the moon is in closer proximity to the Earth, so it appears larger. And because of its magnetic pull and the energy exchange between the two, it can feel really intense, right? But this particular new moon that we had was actually the farthest away from the planet that it could be. And when the eclipse happened and that moon goes in between the sun and the Earth, and you get that eclipse, typically an eclipse will, if it's a total eclipse, it'll go right over and kind of shadow it, right? We had that in 2017 here in Nashville, where it completely went dark for a little bit. But this particular eclipse, because the moon was smaller in that appearance as it crossed over, when it was at the actual eclipse time, it looked like a ring of fire from the sun. Now, Mars went into the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio is ruled by 2 planets, Mars, which is considered the god of war. And look what just happened last week, as that eclipse energy was coming in. And then you got Pluto. And Pluto is considered the lord of the underground, digging up the dirt, revealing what's been hidden, bringing out more truths. So this is the energy we're going to be kind of flowing with. But there was also something really important about this eclipse, and it had to do with relationships. It could be the relationship that you have with yourself. Maybe it's discovering your empowerment or your confidence. But it could also potentially have to deal with your partnerships, your spouse, or your lover, any type of romantic relationship. So if there's been a little friction there, the eclipse is calling us to examine everything, to examine the relationships, to be vulnerable, to communicate. But also remember that relationships are a reflection, because they work as a mirror back to us. And unfortunately, I saw this playing out with my son and his first girlfriend. And he got to see her Friday night because she's off at school and she comes home every weekend. So he got to go hang out with her Friday night. And he came home from visiting her And I could just tell his energy was drained and he kind of wanted to hang around us, but he wasn't really talking a lot. And then when I really started looking at him behind his glasses, his eyes seemed a little red. So when he decided to go up to bed, I just followed him upstairs. And he was like, "What's up, Mom?" And I'm like, "Let's go sit in your room." And so he sat on his bed and I'm like, "Tell me what's going on." And he was like, "Well, I feel like she's pulling away from me. It's been going on for about a month. We had a really tough conversation tonight and we almost broke up." This is the eclipse. He didn't even know an eclipse was happening. And I'm like, this is part of the energy of this eclipse, you know? And the decisions we make now are going to carry us forward into the future for a while. But then I was also giving him the motherly advice, you know? She's at college, she's in a new town, she's having a new life, she has new freedom, she has a new schedule, she has new friends. You're not really there. You're not a part of this newness. So naturally, she's probably pulling away from you because, I'll be honest, she's a little needy. She needs that attention and affection, and he's not there, you know? So, and he needs the communication that she's not providing. So anyway, it was tough as a mom to watch because they had another tough conversation Saturday and another one yesterday, and they're still together, but it was like I'm holding myself together trying to create space for him. But this may be playing out for you, it may be playing out for your children, it may be playing out with some of your friends. So it's an important thing to kind of know what's going on. The courage in that vulnerability and looking at yourself in the reflection is to notice where are you falling short. Because we have the habit of looking at someone else and being able to easily tell them, this is what you're not doing.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to look at ourselves or to really hear what that person is saying and take it in and absorb it and, you know, and really look at it and integrate it or not. That's your choice. But anyway, the Ring of Fire. Because this is about the Ring of Fire, which is Ellie, that Ring of Fire and the sun blazing on the moon and having that particular look that it had, I want you to think about this. Ancient civilizations, even yogis, looked at the sun as being representative of consciousness. Moon representing the subconsciousness. So as that moon is crossing over the sun, and then we have that Ring of Fire, it's like the Ring of Fire is burning into our awareness what we need to see. It's burning into our awareness what we need to release. So that's something positive. And the other thing positive about it, it's a symbol of hope. Because it's giving us the signal that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So even though it's rough right now, and it may continue to get a little rough, trust those signs that are also coming with the universe as that symbol of hope. Because it's not all as bad as it seems. Yes, it's terrible, but it's working and trying to help us move towards the greater good so that we can wake up. Violence is never the answer. The first principle of yoga is ahimsa. Do no harm, do not kill, do not be violent. Can we honor that? And if we want that, we have to make sure we're doing it ourselves. And I think that's why the relationship thing is coming up. Are we being combative in our relationships? Is that a battle? Is it a battle within us? So anyway, there we are. We're also going to be working into the hips because the hips and the sacral chakra are about relations. So we're going to start on our backs. And I'm going to have you experiment with something first. So when you come down to your back, I want you to have your feet just slightly wider than hip distance and let your knees fold into each other. Notice how this feels to your lumbar, the low back, And then go ahead and experiment by sliding your feet forward and out, but having your legs side by side. Close your eyes, again, assessing your back, especially the low back. And noticing if this pose or the other is more satisfactory. We have one more to try, because we're all different. Slide the feet apart. Not quite as wide as your sleeping mat, but close. And now tune in to that same section of your body. And then I want you to go into the position that felt the best. Sometimes we don't take the time to really do that. And this is helping to heighten our awareness within our body, within this moment. And noticing where we are holding. Go ahead and start your mindful breath work if you haven't already. Please know you never have to wait for instruction to activate some pranayama. This is allowing that vital life force energy to come in. So the in-breaths are important for that. But the out-breaths are just as necessary. It's allowing us to release some toxins. It's allowing us to release some stress and tension and worry, fear. So that we can come back to that essence of who we are on the inside at the soul level, which is light, which is love, which is peace. Let's promote more of that as we participate through these poses. We're going to get right into some core work today. So let's go ahead and slide the feet back if your legs were sprawled out. Now, if your knees were already bent, make sure your heels are lining up underneath your knees, toes pointed ahead. Line up your arms beside you, palms facing downward. Let's root the feet. Keep your thighs more together, not touching, but rolling in. Circle the arms up overhead and lift up to that Setu Bandhasana bridge. And as you exhale, keep your hamstrings charged up, but then contract your core and lower down one vertebra at a time. You're going to keep this rolling. So every inhale, you're putting pressure down to the soles of the feet, especially down to that big toe, which will stabilize your knees and activate your inner quads. And as you exhale, roll back to the floor. With each in-breath, see if it's possible to lift the pelvis a little higher, maybe the chest a little bit more towards your chin. And then exhale, control that movement as you lower back to the sacrum. Make sure you're firing up your glutes as you lift. And then we're going to activate the core a little more. So continue inhaling, lifting up to Setu Bandhasana. But this time as you exhale, when you roll down, you're going to lift your hands and feet. You're going to lift the back of your head and curl in like a cannonball or like a little roly-poly. And then ground your feet, arms circle overhead, thighs, hips, abdomen lift. Exhale, rolling down, activating the core, which is the place of our inner fire. And continuing this with repetition. Going at a nice, slow, rhythmic pace to coordinate with your slow, rhythmic breath. After your next cannonball, keep your knees tucked in and lower your head back to the floor. Now you're in the wind release pose. Affirming as you hold, I reduce and release all my scattered forces to rise up and away into the sky. Now fly your hands and feet up towards the ceiling above your body. So it's like a modified waterfall, except your arms are also suspended up. All right, this is going to be the inhale. As we exhale, pull the belly in, lift your shoulders, upper back, head and neck off the floor. Inhale, bend the knees, take your hands to your shins, and then exhale, lower the head back down. Inhale, legs and fingertips lift. Exhale, pull the belly in, crunch up. Inhale, bend the knees, take the hands to the shins, and exhale, lower gently to the backside of your skull. This is our new flow. Inhale to this version of waterfall. Exhale, pump the belly in and lift. Bring the feet down and then lower the head down. Inhale, this version of waterfall. Exhale, pull the navel in and lift. Inhale, bend the knees, and exhale, lower the head and the neck. We're gonna do one more, just like that. Once you come back to wind release, your arms are gonna open out nice and wide. You're gonna roll the knees over to the left side of your body, landing the feet if possible. Inhale, grip in your core, roll the knees back through the middle, and then exhale, roll them over to the right. So continue going at that nice, slow, rhythmic pace. Stay in command of that movement. Stay in command of the breath. Beautiful work. And you're just moving and tilting side to side. So twist can be detoxifying as well. I want you to think about as you're moving your body side to side of this twist, it's like you're wringing out the insides like a wet washcloth. The next time you cross over to the right, you're going to inhale, pull right back to the center. Your hands are going to clip up underneath the crease of the knees. You're going to fly the feet up and rock and roll forward. Once you come up, you're going to separate your knees. You're going to put your hands to the underside of your ankles, or you can wrap them around this way. And you're going to float your feet up. And more core work. So the idea of the core work is to try to stop yourself, that the feet don't fall. And you're going to try to stop yourself so the head doesn't spin. So it looks like this. You roll to the upper back, you roll, oh, I didn't make it. Try it again. Harder when I talk. And then when you come up, flat 3 times. Roll back, roll forward, balance, flat, flat, flat. Roll back, roll forward, balance, flat, flat, flat. This is called seal. It shows up more in Pilates. And I'm not a big Pilates fan because they stole a bunch of stuff from yoga.
Which is a different branch of yoga.
But sometimes it's fun. Do something different. All right, next time you come up and clap 3 times, pull the feet in close to the pubic bone, open the feet out like a book, lift up energetically through your heart, keep the spine extended and fold over the feet. So with your feet drawn in and your spine staying nice and long, it should give you more of the active stretch through the hips and the inner thighs. It's really not about how high or low you are in the pose, so let that go. How does it feel? Can you breathe in a steady, rhythmic way? Can you close your eyes and go through that assessment in your body? Where are you holding more? Is it your left or right hip? Does it tie back into this concept of the relationships? So one thing I've noticed this past year, when my sometimes girlfriend, my left hip started giving me grief. And of course I knew, well, that's my feminine side. What female's giving me trouble? Even though I like her, I was like, well, it's gotta be her. Because she's the new woman in his life. And he wants to spend more time with her than me, and you know, all the things, right? And so I was like, that's what it is. So I worked on it, and I worked on it, and I worked on it. At the same time, getting to know her better and getting to accept this new relationship. And it went away. But then a couple weeks ago, I think I've already told you, he decided as a junior, he was going to become a senior. And he's taken a couple extra classes to graduate a year early. Well, that was fine. Nothing showed up in my hip then. But then I took him to a campus tour last Thursday.
Reality.
Guess what happened when I got home? My left hip completely seized up.
Yeah.
Now, I had a reading done a couple months ago from a tarot card reader, and everything was really positive, and she got done. I have 5 more minutes. She was like, I got 5 minutes. Do you have any other questions? I'm like, not really. And she goes, well, I am a medical intuitive. I was like, ooh, tell me what's holding in my left hip. And she said, that's you not letting your son go. What? Yeah. Yeah. And there it is again. All right, inhale. We're gently gonna come all the way up. We'll come all the way up. We're gonna separate the feet. We're gonna give ourselves a little boost and bring the hands to heart into squats. So I've been laughing over the weekend saying I'm renaming this muscle in the left hip, you know, that whole, I don't know if it's the iliopsoas or if it's another one tied into that. I'm now calling it the mama muscle. Or you may have the daddy muscle on your right side.
Competition between my wife and my daughter.
Now notice the difference in the way the hips feel right now. We're in a different relationship with gravity. Just kind of hang out here for a moment. This is a great pose for elimination. All right, one more deep breath. And when you're ready, sink your fingertips down, turn your heels back behind your toes, straighten out through your leg bones, and continue to hinge forward from your hips. And your arms can either do one of 2 things. They can hang down like a rag doll, or you can clasp a hold of your forearms. Now, something I failed to mention at the beginning of the class was that everything I was talking about regarding this eclipse was from Western astrology. And there's another formula called Vedic astrology. And Vedic astrology stems from India. When I was studying it, they said from this time, from the last full moon actually, to the beginning of November, is a great time to focus on ancestral patterns and wounds and healing trauma that may be passed on from generation to generation. And our legs, our feet, that process of elimination correlates back to the root chakra. So that may be coming up for you as well. All right, let's start to heel toe the feet more together. And then you can either do dangling pose or you can do the Uttanasana. Uttanasana, the feet are pressing, the knees are lifting, the quads are defined, the muscles are more engaged. Or if you need to be more yin, the knees can be soft. And you can just hang out. All right, on your next in-breath, let's go ahead and root the feet, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. And when you start to come up, check with your shoulders and neck. Is it better to be here, Urdhva Hastasana, or can you tilt your head back? Is it possible to bring the hands together to upward worship? You can do either one, but we're going to begin and end with one of those poses. Let's go ahead and fold straight down the middle into your Uttanasana or dangling pose, dependent on your experience and what's better for you. Slide your hands up your legs, lengthen out through the spine, and then exhale gently free fall back down again. All right, on your next inhale, we're taking the feet back to plank. From plank position, line up the arm bones, line up the joints. Plug your thighs up, keep the navel drawing in. Shift forward, lower down to chaturanga, hover if you can. Then slide through and up to up dog. Exhale, curl your toes under, roll back, downward facing dog. Now from your Adho Mukha Svanasana, look at your feet, slim that space between the toes. Go ahead and lift your right leg halfway up. And as you exhale, you're gonna come to cheetah, nose towards knee, shoulder stacking over wrist. Inhale, push down through your palms, straighten out through your limbs, right leg sails back. Exhale, cheetah, nose towards knee. Inhale again, stretch it open. Exhale, contract and curl in, power 3. Inhale, take that leg up. And that will give us a little momentum to slide the right foot through the underside of the belly. So you're resting on the outer edge of that right foot. Now, notice if your shoulders are back away from your wrist. If that's the case, slide forward with your heart. It should feel like plank in your upper body. Feel that stretch in the outseam of that right leg. One more breath. Good, now step your right foot back, shift forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, slide through and up to up dog. Exhale, roll back, downward facing dog. All right, from here, again, slim the distance between the big toes. Spread out your fingers and push down to the mounds of your hands. Lift your left leg side. Exhale, contract, curl in, cheetah. 2 more. Try not to rush it. Be mindful, be methodical. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, slip it under the belly off to the right side. Shoulder stacking over hands. Notice at the IT bands. Is there a difference between the left and the right? Good, now take your left foot back, drop and spill to your knees. Fold back into child's pose and take the weight off your hands, meaning your elbows can sink, your fingertips can curl in, or you can wrap the arms around you, palms open at your feet. Lay the belly over your lap, rest on the third eye. And it's that third eye that gives us a new perspective. It's the third eye that heightens our awareness.
On your next inhale, stretch your arms in front, rock up hands and knees, exhaling, downward facing dog. Now from downward facing dog, I want you to look forward towards your hands. Step your right foot all the way forward and up in between. Take your arms to your sides. Bring the spine up over the pelvis, arms up to frame the face. Keep lunging the front knee. And then determine here. Do you want to lift your floating ribs? Do you want to strike your back bend? Exhale, let your fingertips rain down. Bring that back foot forward. Fold into self. Next inhale, root down and sweep the arms to your sides and up. Remember, you can pause here if this is best, or keep lifting into your upward worship. Exhale, release. Into that forward fold, bowing your head. Inhale, lift and lengthen out through the vertebrae. Exhale, refold. Inhale, step back, plank. From your plank, rock forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, rise to up dog. Exhale, roll back to down dog. Be here, breathe here. Slim that space between the big toes if necessary, because that'll help you with balance. The right leg's gonna lift halfway again. Exhale, cheetah. Stoking that inner fire. What do we need to burn away? Now this time, once you lift the leg up, you're gonna take that right foot through again. But we're gonna spin down to the sole of the back foot. We're gonna slide the left arm skyward. Stay strong in that right arm. Exhale, spin off the back heel, lower the left hand, right foot plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good, again, look at the space between the big toes, just a few inches is needed, and lift your left leg. Exhale, contract, cheetah. Inhale, extend. Exhale, cheetah. So that core solar plexus, take that left foot through, drop to your back foot, lift the right arm. That power center is that solar plexus. And that's where we build courage and confidence. Exhale, right hand down, spin off the back heel. Left foot back, plank. Exhale, drop the knees. Create your child's pose. Take a momentary break. Taking the weight off your hands. Notice your respiration. Notice if you've been able to slow down the current of thoughts in your mind. Inhale, rock forward into table. Exhale into down dog. All right, look forward towards your hands. Bring that left foot to the front. Ground that foot, make sure that knee's lined over the ankle. When you're ready, push heavily through that foot to bring the spine up, your arms up. You can choose to be here, chin parallel to the floor, looking straight ahead, or you can work into more of a back bend. Yogi's choice. Exhale, hands down. Bring that back foot forward. Exhale, drop back in. All right, already notice the difference in your hamstrings. Feel your body opening. And it's opening because it's not only warming up, but it's releasing. Inhale, coming all the way up. Maybe going into that upward version. Exhale, pull the right foot down and in. Inhale, give yourself a little pick me up. Create some space between the two halves. And then exhale, go back in for a moment of introspection. Inhale, let's take planche. Exhale, rock forward, lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, roll it on back. All right, we're gonna be changing it up here. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Well, not yet, exhale, cheetah. I do want that core work. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze in. Think about the sun dwelling in the belly, the moon dwelling in the crown of the head. Take that right leg through, just like we've been doing, except now you're gonna slide that foot higher towards your left hand. You got it. First of all, notice the difference in that stretch. Turn and plant your back foot. And we're gonna slowly turn down to the buttocks and keep the legs separated. You're very best, the front row. Uh-oh. Push down through your thigh bones. Flex out through your ankles. And extend your arms out shoulder height. All right, wait, pause a minute. Everyone come down to your left sit bone. Yes, 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 yes. Now we're ready. Take your right arm, helicopter it over towards your left foot. Doesn't have to touch, just in that general direction. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, helicopter left arm over towards your right. Good, this is the new flow. Control your breathing. So you're practicing in a conscientious way. One more over towards the right foot. Inhale back up. Exhale, land your hands at the center of your thighs and then start to fold straight down the middle. It's not hard to new. It's not that new. It's more of a Buddhist concept. It's been around a while. It's this idea of something called middle way. The middle way is where we're choosing not to get caught up in the division, in the polarity, in the duality that we see playing out. And yoga helps to enhance the state of neutrality so that we can walk the middle way. And you got this as you fall down through the middle of the legs. Affirming as you hold, I will accept everything that comes my way as an opportunity for more growth. And then inhale, start to bring it up. Exhale, slide your feet together for another bound angle, which is Baddha Konasana, feet together. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, pull over the feet. So it's like that butterfly pose, except your heels are coming in towards the pubic bone. I know you guys can't see me, it's okay. You were still doing a yoga pose. It works. I'll affirm mentally within, secure myself. I accept whatever it is. Doesn't mean we can't work on ourselves or heal something from our past, but we have to accept where we are now. Inhale, slowly back the heart up. Exhale, slide the feet across just like you started with in Konasana. Lift your right arm up. Bring it around so it's facing the front of the room on the mat. And then when you're ready, turn your feet, lift your hips, come back to that pose we started with. All right, it should be same alignment or similar. All right, when you're ready, right foot back. Exhale, come forward, lower down, forward staff pose. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. All right, we got that left side next. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then exhale, back to cheetah. Power 3. Inhale, lift that left leg, but this time we're gonna slip it under and slide it even higher up towards the right hand. Then pause there for the stretch first. And then slowly start to spin down on the back foot, lift the right hand, and just go ahead and sink down to your seat. Ground both of your sits bones. Push down through your thigh bones. Extend your arms out shoulder height. Good. Swish your left arm over towards your right leg. Good. Inhale back up. Exhale, right arm to left. Good. You know what to do. Now the next time you cross over toward the left leg, we're gonna come back up, arms still extended out, east to west. Bring your hands right down through the middle. Walk it out. Konasana, which is the wide angle pose. Notice what your feet are wanting to do. Can you stay stacked on the center of your heels with your toes lifting and spreading? When I first started yoga, I despised this pose. But it's those poses that we don't like, or we feel like we don't do well, is what we need typically. My root chakra needed some work. So this is root chakra, but it's also sacral chakra. All right, inhale, we'll walk it back in. Lean to the back side of your sits bones so that the feet can slide together. And fold back. Baddha Konasana, your butterfly again, or down in the Sometimes it's nice to revisit certain poses throughout a practice. Tell if it's having any positive effects. You can also notice your resistance. What we resist persists. So see if you can find the root cause of what's creating that resistance for you. Inhale, let's slowly back it up. Let's slide the legs back into that kind of split position. Lift your left arm skyward. And then exhale, take it around to the front side of your mat. Plant that palm. Remember, we want the hands shoulder distance apart. From here, we turn the feet in order to lift the hips, and we stack the right hand shoulder distance apart from the other. Basically, coming back to where we started. All right, left foot back to plank. If you want one final vinyasa, seize the opportunity. Once we pull back to downward facing dog, we're actually going to complete this at the back side of your mat. So walk your hands towards your toes. Land your feet. Double over. Firm, and nothing, no one on this earth can hold me down or back. The one thing I was telling my son over the weekend is a little, glimmer of hope. It's like, my boyfriend and I broke up all the time in college. And if you're meant to be back together, you'll come back together. And then I reminded him of what I say in yoga a lot about the heart. The beautiful thing about the heart is you can fall in love again and again and again and again. There's an infinite amount. Root the feet, inhale, coming all the way up. Urdhva or upward worship. Exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. All right, we're gonna work on balance. Okay. So the first thing with balance, we're gonna shift the weight to the left leg and foot. Left hand to the waist, and we're moving into Adhakusasana A, modified. So we're gonna hold the knee. Now, if your hip's giving you trouble and it's too difficult to hold the knee and you need the foot to be lower, you can do it from here. And then we'll open to B. Gaze at one spot in front of you. And then from B, we're going into tree. Still staying stacked on that same singular side. We're going to keep the right hand close to the knee, and we're going to lift the left arm straight up towards the sky. And if you want a little challenge, you're going to lean your torso to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, turn the knee, bring the foot down. And this is where, if we would have heard Ring of Fire, I would have sung to you. And it burns, burns, burns. Did you feel the burn through the leg? Okay, so we're gonna try to create that same burning sensation to the right. So stack and stand on the right foot. Right hand to the waist. Navel drawing in and up, activate the bandhas. Catch the knee. Open the hip. Take it to B. Find the foot. Create your tree. Left hand towards the left knee. Right arm reaching up. Perhaps leaning left. Inhale up. Exhale, turn the knee forward, and then lower the foot. Whew, which one did you have more of a burn on? You're right, mine was right too. Okay. Walk it out, shake it out. This mudra is what we're going to focus on with the next balancing poses. And it's the second finger to the thumb, and it's Shuni mudra, and it represents patience. So patience is required for balance. We're going to stack and stand on the left foot. We're going to lift the arms up this way. We're going to lift the right foot and then flare open. So this is gonna represent our dancing Shiva, who's often depicted dancing in a ring of fire. And that ring of fire represents transformation, the birth, life, death, rebirth cycles. Then we're gonna take that right foot around, hinge from the hips, gaze down, mudra down. Inhale, coming back. And release. Hold that mudra. All right, when you're ready. Do the arms. Stacking and standing on the right leg, lifting and flaring the left. So this positioning of the legs, by the way, represents compassion and action, the affirmative of nonviolence, or ahimsa. All right, take that foot around, hinge, face down, breathe. Release. Ah! All right, I'm gonna walk it forward. We need blocks for this. Well, you may not need blocks, but I'm gonna use blocks. You want them on the second height around the backside of your feet. Feet, hip width apart. Arms lift, heels lift, and we're coming down to toe balance. Make it a little step, crackle, pop. Once you're here, the hands go back behind you, right? Behind your hips. Notice I'm leaning over the thighs. I want you to lean over. I want you to pull that belly button in. Your blocks, again, beside your hips or slightly behind. Put the weight in your hands. Draw in through your core. Float the feet out.
Oh, that's impossible.
Yeah. Yes, very nice. That's all we need to block for today. But it's nice to have the blocks because it helps to give us a little bit more lift off the floor. Extend your arms. We're pulling that belly in, more core work. Rolling it back. Once you lower, flip your hands. Kick your feet up, catch your hips. Do a modified shoulder stand or plow pose. So I'll let you choose. And if you don't really want to be fully inverted today, you can stay on your back and just lift your feet in the air. All right, pull that belly in, bring the hands to the floor, slowly roll it down. But when the sacrum hits, fly the head and arms up, and you're coming into Dandasana. Yeah, it's kind of fun too. And then exhale, Paschimottanasana. All right, when you're ready, Dandasana. Scoop the belly, roll it back. Flip your hands, lift your legs. Same pose before, modified shoulder stand or full shoulder stand if you have the energy to go there. Plow pose, remember the feet don't have to touch. I'm actually hovering my feet a lot more because of some neck issues I have. Because if you don't drop your feet all the way to the floor in Halasana, it's more in your upper back, less in the neck. All right, exhale, squeeze the core, roll it down. As the sacrum hits, lift your head and hands. Good, exhale, Paschimottanasana. We're gonna do this one more time. Inhale, non-dominant. Exhale, belly squeeze, roll it back. When you're ready, invert. When you're ready, roll it down. We're not lifting back to sit. So just stay on your back and hug in your knees. Sink your feet after that. Lift your arms up towards the ceiling. Glide your arms down beside your body. Push down through the elbows and tuck the shoulders under so the center of your chest pops up and your throat slightly opens. It's not dramatic with the neck. This is a nice counter though. It's a modified fish. Keep pushing down through your arms, keep tucking the shoulders under, and the chest will naturally rise. All right, exhale, spread your upper back. Let it land down. And then consider what you need or prefer for Shavasana. So if you need legs up the wall, you're welcome to move your mat. If you want to create something restorative, do so now. I'm going to change the music to something instrumental. So I'm not a techie person. I'm not a person that enjoys putting a lot of apps on their phone. So my apps are pretty minimal. But a friend of mine convinced me I had to get this app called The Pattern. And basically, it's like astrology. And when you set it up, you put in your birth date, your birthplace, your birth time. And then it shows you certain patterns that you may be going through in different areas of your life. I received a notification yesterday after I had already prepared this lesson, and it was general about the eclipse. I thought I would share. The new moon was in Libra. And this is a time to let go of the shadow of the past, to step into the light of your future, especially with relationships, even the romantic ones. The theme for this month is finding your empowerment. And because the new moon's in Libra, it applies directly to relationships. Is it just? Is it equal? Is there harmony? 2 weeks ago, the full moon in Aries may have illuminated some places inside where you may have not noticed that you're compromising your authenticity. That energy was about making a choice between following your faith and shining brightly or following fear and hiding. The message of these moons is to be your true, authentic, empowered self, because that is our greatest contribution in life. It's not only for us, but it helps our partner. It'll allow us to give them our best. Set your intentions on finding and creating equal and conscious partnerships where you feel seen and understood.
for the next few minutes, you can be contemplative on this theme we've had today. Or maybe it would be fun for you, if you're visual, to imagine that ring of fire, the way this recent eclipse occurred, with the shadow in the middle and the ring of light around it. If you find you're in a place where you just simply are not ready to move, just stay. If you're in a position, feel like moving and curl the knees in, and do that now. Just listen up. Each and every one of us contribute to the greater good when we are being our best self. And we as individuals can make our circles, our corners, our homes, our families, or any place in the world more beautiful as we bring our light, love, and peace to it. Let's roll to one side of the body. Casually build yourself up to sit. bringing your hands together to pray. May we be the light. May we be the love. May we be the peace. And affirm internally, I am light. I am love. I am peace. I am an instrument of light, love, and peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Heads up, I will not be here next Monday. No. I'm going to Vermont.
Cool.
And I'm gonna be doing a Reiki training retreat up there, and I get back Monday. So that means I'm gonna be here. And I'm not sure who's teaching because I've asked and no one is stepping up. So it probably will be Jen. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
It'll probably be Jen. But I'm gonna contact a couple more teachers just to see if they're available. But there should be class.
We'll keep an eye out.